remember you were mentioning to me an author, Marcus.
Oh yeah, the Jamaican publisher. Yes,
Yes.
yes, yes. Marcus, there's this quote that I read from Marcus that took me by surprise. He said that a man without a knowledge of his history, culture, and origin is like a tree without roots.
Interesting. A tree without roots.
That's a
I've
dead
never imagined a tree without roots.
That's a tree so dead. So we don't want to be dead trees. So we'll start by introducing ourselves. I am Opio Washington.
And I'm Berlin, Washington.
Welcome to our channel,
Ancient Facts.
where we will be unpackaging history, origin, and culture in a way that will help us to define our purpose as a people, as a country, as different religious affiliations. It's important for us to know our culture. And still, while at Marcus' quote, there is an interesting aspect that it gives, that without a proper understanding of history, origin, and culture, one cannot have a definite purpose. And it is through the definite purposes that makes people to do and invent things that transform the world. And while I was thinking at it, I remembered John Wycliffe, a man who was born in England around 1328 in a large family. You know, he had ample time to know his culture, his origin, and with all this, by the time he was joining Oxford University, you know, I was surprised he joined Oxford University.
Wow, Oxford, interesting.
You know, the first times I was interacting with Oxford, I thought it was either dictionary or a set.
Yeah, I also remember that.
You know, Oxford University, I'm told it's a very prestigious university in England, one of the best. So John Wycliffe joined Oxford University, and with the proper understanding of his origin, history, and culture, he managed to learn and excel even in the academic world. And with such excellence, he was later employed at the palace, where he transformed the policies. Foreign trade was transformed. The political policies that he generated facilitated the stability of the nation. And most importantly, he is a religious pillar.
Wow.
And one of the most beautiful things he did, he translated the Bible from Vulgate to English.
Hey, you've reminded me of another person,
Yes.
Wangari Maathai.
Yes.
Yes, born in Kenya, in Nyeri, and having an environment where she grew up, where there was always some produce from the farm.
Yes.
Even as you look at her educational background, she tackled things doing with the environment, you
Yes,
know.
yes.
And around 1987-89, the late President Moi decided that he was going to build a skyscraper in Uhuru Park. Wangari Maathai stood headstrong and opposed that idea. And the good thing, she saved the environment.
Wow. Yes.
Up to now, Uhuru Park is a place where families can go and enjoy fresh air, a good breeze, and where they will enjoy a very nice time. Just because of how she was brought up, you know, having an environment, having known her culture and her origin, having known the importance of preserving the environment.
Wow. So that means having a proper understanding and knowledge of one's history, culture, and origin can help in shape their purpose.
Yes.
So people who live purposeless lives have very little understanding of their origin, culture, and history. Now that brings me to this troubling question. We are Christians. Do we really know our culture? Do we know our history? Do we know our origin? Do you think we do?
As Christians, we don't know our origin, our culture.
Judging from our practices, the things we do.
Yeah, the things we do, like we have things like corruption still mentioned in Christian denomination, you know,
Yes.
things like where people are fighting for leadership, where we have sometimes people actually stealing from each other. So I think we must have lost our origin, or somehow we are not familiar with it.
So in short, we are living purposeless lives, because
Yes.
Christianity is a purposeful living.
Yes.
So if we deviate from the purpose of our lives as Christians, then it means we are living purposeless lives. And this can be attributed to the lack of knowledge of our culture, our origin, and our what? History. Now that is strange and interesting but also very sad. Now that's why this channel is here. In this channel, we will talk about our culture, our history, and our origin as Christian. In a nutshell, it is a discussion that will be open, and it will be around what makes us Christian. We will go to history. We will check where all this began. We will check through the pioneers, the patriarchs, the people who've lived this in this faith, and why in this generation we are losing that purpose. Now, my dear, there is this thought that is in the Bible about when someone loses his focus, and it's a cancel of what someone is supposed to do.
Yes, that is in Jeremiah 6:16.
Yes.
Which says, "Thus saith the Lord, stand ye in the ways, and see and ask for the old paths. Where is the good way? And walk therein, and you shall find rest for your souls."
So even the Bible recommends a proper understanding of history, origin, and culture as a prerequisite for purposeful living.
Yes.
And that reminds me of Moses. You know, when we read the book of Exodus chapter 2, Moses enters the scene. And at the time of his birth, Pharaoh had passed a decree that was to exterminate male children born, especially by the Israelites. That time Israelites were slaves in Egypt. And Moses' mother gives birth to Moses, and then decides to hide Moses in a basket next to at the side of the river. And on this occasion, we find Pharaoh's daughter making tours with her maids, and then they hear the cry of a baby, and when they go to rescue the baby, they decide to adopt Moses.
Interesting, yes.
As they adopt Moses, they needed to get a caretaker or a nanny to take care of Moses. But since Moses was a Hebrew child, they sought this caretaker to come from one of the Hebrews. And guess who they found? Moses' mother. So Moses' mother raises Moses. And in the process of raising Moses, he gives Moses the information about his history, his culture, and his origin. And when the time was right, as we read in the book of Hebrews chapter 11 and verse 24, it says that, "But by faith Moses, having come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a reason." So Moses understood his culture. And for that reason, what happened to Moses?
Wow. Moses himself as a leader, you know, by the time he was becoming of age, he decided to go back to the Israelites' camp. And from there, he was able to lead the Israelites out of the wilderness, out of Egypt, you know, and take them to the Canaan land.
Amen. So God could use Moses because Moses had a purpose in life.
Yes.
And this purpose was based on his firm understanding of his origin, his culture, and his history. So people and viewers, welcome to our channel once more.
Yes.
And please subscribe, because in this channel we will be discussing everything history, we will be discussing everything origin, and we'll be discussing everything culture. And with that discussion, our aim is to establish a purpose for our lives, so that as Christians we do not just bear the name Christians, but our life purposes reveal the very art and essence of Christianity.
Amen.
Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Amen.